In the 21st century, language is evolving faster than ever before, driven by the relentless advance of digital technology. From the internet to social media, instant messaging to AI, the ways we communicate have expanded beyond anything imaginable just a few decades ago. In this video, we'll explore how language in this digital age is changing, adapting, and sometimes even facing unique challenges. We'll get into digital slang, online identities, and the globalization of language in new ways. When the internet started going mainstream in the 1990s, English became the dominant online language. Back then, over 80% of web content was in English. But the digital world is a far more linguistically diverse place today. In fact, English now only makes up about 25% of all web content. Other languages like Chinese, Spanish, and Arabic have risen sharply as internet access expands worldwide. The fascinating thing about the digital world is that it fosters linguistic cross-pollination like never before. Words and phrases travel quickly across platforms, often shredding their original cultural meanings and taking on new ones. For example, if you consider English internet slang, think LOL or OMG. It's now common in languages from Korean to Portuguese, while words from Japanese like emoji have been integrated into English itself. Interestingly, the internet also facilitates linguistic revitalization. For example, Hawaiian, Irish Gaelic, and other minority languages have found new life on social media and dedicated websites. In a way, the internet serves as a space for both linguistic homogenization and diversity, creating a unique ecosystem where languages can flourish or blend into one another. In the digital world, we rarely communicate in complete sentences or paragraphs. Instead, we use abbreviations, symbols, and emojis to get our point across quickly. Take the following, for example: IDK, or I don't know, or BRB, be right back. These acronyms serve as shortcuts, helping us to communicate faster, albeit at the risk of losing depth or nuance. Emojis and GIFs also play a crucial role in our online interactions. They act as visual cues, adding tone and emotion to what we're saying. Think of it like digital body language. Instead of a smile or a nod, we might send a thumbs up emoji to show approval, or a face with tears of joy emoji to laugh at something. According to some studies, the face with tears of joy emoji is the most used emoji worldwide, making it arguably the most universal word in the digital lexicon. In fact, there's research showing that emojis might even help people communicate across language barriers. When users from different linguistic backgrounds interact on platforms like X or Instagram, emojis can bridge the gap, helping to convey emotions and ideas without words. However, emojis also have their limitations. Their meanings can vary depending on the culture or even the individual. For example, the folded hands emoji often means thank you or please in Japan, but in Western countries it's often interpreted as a prayer gesture. Memes are another fascinating example of digital language. A meme is essentially a piece of content, be it an image, video, or phrase, that spreads rapidly online and changes as people remix it. Memes are often funny, but they can also convey complex cultural or social commentary. Because they rely heavily on visual content, memes are generally accessible across language barriers, making them an almost universal form of communication. Take the distracted boyfriend meme. Originally a stock photo, it was turned into countless variations, each with different text to reflect everything from political statements to silly everyday dilemmas. But as much as memes bring people together, they also create what's known as in-groups and out-groups. If you understand a meme, you're part of the in-group, and if not, well, you might be left in the digital dust. What's academically interesting about memes is that they echo linguistic theories about language being tied to group identity. Memes allow people to create and sustain online communities, bound together by shared humor, values, or ideas. In a way, memes are like digital dialects. They carry unique meanings that only certain groups fully understand. Social media has given everyone a platform to craft and share their personal narratives, but it has also changed the way we see ourselves linguistically. Many people today are multilingual across platforms, adopting different registers or ways of speaking depending on the audience. On LinkedIn, a person might use formal language to build a professional brand, while on TikTok, they might use slang or humor to appear relatable and fun. This constant code switching reflects a deeper relationship between language and identity. In the digital world, our linguistic choices are often strategic. By adapting our language, we construct versions of ourselves that fit the platforms we're on and the audiences we're speaking to. One interesting aspect of this is how non-native English speakers navigate digital English. They often develop a distinct online voice that might incorporate grammar or vocabulary from their own language, creating a unique form of global English. This isn't incorrect English. Rather, it's a reflection of how English evolves when it's used by people from diverse linguistic backgrounds. AI and machine learning are changing the way we communicate and the way we understand language itself. From predictive text to virtual assistants like Siri or Alexa, AI is embedded in many of our digital interactions. These technologies are trained on massive amounts of linguistic data, often reflecting the biases, trends, and vernaculars present in those datasets. One interesting example of this is how algorithms learn slang. If you type "on fleek" into your phone, it might autocorrect it to "on fleet." But as that term becomes more widely used, algorithms learn to recognize it, sometimes faster than traditional dictionaries. In fact, some dictionaries now monitor social media to decide which new words to include in new editions. Another area where AI intersects with language is in translation. Google Translate and other tools have become surprisingly good at translating languages, though they're still far from perfect. For languages with less digital presence, these tools often struggle, reflecting the fact that digital language resources are far from evenly distributed. This has implications for linguistic equity and raises questions about how well AI can support linguistic diversity in the future. Language in a digital world also raises issues about privacy and data. Our words, typed into search engines, social media posts, and messaging apps, are recorded and analyzed to create data profiles. This might seem harmless, but it has profound implications for how our language is used against us or for us. If you're constantly Googling travel destinations, you might get ads for vacation packages. But more subtly, your language patterns are analyzed to predict everything from your political leanings to your mental health. Some recent studies show that language patterns in social media posts can even predict physical illnesses. For example, frequent use of certain phrases associated with sadness or stress might indicate a higher risk of depression. While this could open doors to early diagnosis, it also raises ethical questions about who has access to such insights and how they might be used. So where does this all leave us? Language is clearly not static. It evolves with the tools we use to communicate. In the future, we might see more AI-driven dialects, where regional slang or digital accents develop based on how algorithms are trained. We may even see new languages emerge from virtual realities or online gaming communities, where entire lexicons and grammars evolve to serve specific needs and contexts. It's possible that as technology advances, we'll see even greater fusion between language and visuals, where entire conversations are held through icons, emojis, or maybe even holograms. And as AI continues to improve, the line between human and machine language might blur even further. In our digital world, language serves as a powerful reminder of both our connectivity and our individuality. While technology can create barriers, it also builds bridges, allowing us to communicate in new, exciting, and sometimes challenging ways. Whether it's through a meme, an emoji, or an AI-driven message, language in a digital age reflects our diverse identities and our shared human experience.